Greetings to you from wherever you're watching us tonight. Thanks for joining us on the Thursday edition of the show. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Well, tonight on the show, we expected it. It has happened. The Nigeria Football Federation has reacted to what has happened as they've released a communique. And, of course, the communique has left us with more questions than answers. And, of course, we'll be treating all of that all for you. We will also be giving you a slice of boxing. We have a special guest in the house who will talk to us about tennis and, of course, the things happening here in Nigeria with regards table tennis. We'll do our best also to give you a slice of what is happening on in the domestic scene with regards to football, and hopefully we should be able to talk about the 2024 European Championships. That's the outlook of the show today. It's a two-man show. My colleague Austin Okonakpan is suited and ready as we take you on this trip across the money-spinning world of sports.
Sport greetings to you, Yemi, and of course everyone joining us on the show tonight. Still an action-packed world of sports. So much going down in our world of sports right here in the United Kingdom. We're counting down to that big WBO Cruiserweight Championship bout. Tagged Game On. What a story. British-Nigerian boxer Richard Riakpo, that's him right there, finally gets a shot at the world title as he goes against the world WBO Cruiserweight champion, Bilam Smith. They met today in London for a walkout and then did that slight face-off as we count down to Saturday, big one. Don't forget, let me remind you in case you're out of touch what's going on with the Cruiserweight division. Last year, Bilam Smith defeated another British-Nigerian boxer, Lawrence Okoli, to become the world champion. This is his second title defense. And the second time he will also be meeting Richard Riakpo. Bilam Smith lost to Richard Riakpo 5 years ago. He said, look, that fight means nothing to my career. I've forgotten about it. On Saturday, I will defend my title. Richard Riakpo says, I don't know what he's talking about. I know that on Saturday it will be and new. Let's get into the conversation. Listen to Richard Riakpo, and then when we come back, we'll continue with the conversation. Richard, when you look at the fight you've been through, 17 undefeated, how do you rank this one?
This is number one because of what is at stake. You know, world title is an opportunity for me to put my name in the history books, my family's name, and put Nigeria on the map. That's right. You mentioned Nigeria. How much of the Nigeria mentality are you taking into that fight? Everything. I'm the manifestation of the Nigeria mentality. You know, we thrive wherever we are. You know, wherever we are in the world, we always put on. And if you go and do your research, you'll find out every single individual. You check their background, you find out they're Nigerian. So it's that mentality in Nigeria, not the carry license, and that's what we bring each and everywhere we go. Richard, I want to see a knockout, or you just like to go on to win on points? No. We want a knockout. We don't want to just win. We want to win in the best fashion possible. And it's the reason why these people watch boxing. It's the reason why people love boxing, because they want to see people get knocked out. They want to see entertainment. They want to see, hands going. And I'm fortunate to be blessed with power to be able to do this. So it was up to my team to get me in the condition to do it, which I'm in the condition. So, when you do all of that stuff, the magic happens. It's just like a formula recipe. And everyone admires your power. Where did you get it from? Pound jam, egusi, amala, paella. Yeah. Yo, starch. Yo. I just appreciate the support that I've received so far. Everybody watching, everybody following. I've been receiving a lot of messages. I want to thank you all, and I'm going to make you all proud on Saturday. And the new. Hopefully that's what we'll hear. And the new WBO Cruiserweight champion of the world. I just become Richard Riakpo. Yeah, every time I talk to this guy, the love for Nigeria, the passion, I don't know, it's contagious. I like it when I see guys who are born abroad, but they relate so well with the motherland. It's so heartwarming. It is, but of course, Chris Billiams-Smith stand in his way, so we'll see what happens when that fight takes place. So
all the best to him. All right, let's move on the show. Let me quickly introduce our guest in the Lagos studio. He needs little or no he just leads into a little introduction. Of course, he is currently the Chief Operating Officer of the African Table Tennis Federation. We have with us today Kweku Tando. He joins us on the show. Greetings to you, sir. Thanks for finding time to be with us on the show tonight.
Thank you very much, Yemi. It's a pleasure to be here again. It's been quite a while. I've been to channels, and I must say I admire your new setup here.
All right, we appreciate that. All right, over the years, I've seen you in many different capacities, many different roles, but currently you're doing what you're doing, what we're used to seeing you do in all the capacities, in all the positions you've handled. But this time we're talking table tennis in Nigeria. I'm tempted to want to start off with what is coming soon, the WTT
contest.
Yeah, but let's start off the conversation generally. Table tennis, it used to be a lot different when I was growing up. A lot has changed. And when I see people like you who are well invested into table tennis, not just Nigeria, of course, what has changed? When I was growing up, you could see table tennis easy to play. Everybody can lay their hands on it. You're seeing it every street corner. It was next to football. It's not like that anymore. In spite of all your efforts in Nigeria and Africa.
Yeah, you're right. Again, you need to look at the evolution of the game itself. In those days, you could play table tennis, put two pick milk tins together, get a racket made of wood and all that. But if you look at the game itself now, you realize that it has moved on from there. Now you're talking about having rubbers, you're talking about having proper nets, you're talking about having, even the balls have changed, the size of the ball, the color of the ball, the texture of the ball and all that. And with this evolution has come increase in costs. So you're going to find out that in terms of availability of the modern day table tennis equipment, it's not like it was in those days. Yes, you could still have people knocking up and down on the streets and all that, but then you would not be able to get people to the level that you want them to be. That's one. Number two, of course, there's so many factors that mitigate against those strict table tennis tables all over the place, security, the economy, and so on and so forth. So there are a lot of factors that have tried to move it away from the streets now into a more organized sector, and that has come with costs that has made accessibility and availability a little bit more difficult.
All right. Before I yield to my colleague, who's waiting to ask you a few questions as well, how do you deal with, I don't want to call table tennis a lesser sport because I feel it's insulting to do so, but how do you deal with this notion that it has become a sport associated with leisure, keeping fit? How do you deal with that? But this is a sport that is run professionally across the globe. But here, in this part, there's this notion, and I think it's wrong though. It's just saying when you want to keep fit, go and play table tennis. It's just when you want to enjoy yourself. But it's a sport that should be run professionally.
Yeah, just like any other sport, you have various levels of table tennis. Yes, you have leisure table tennis, the social clubs, the Ikoyi clubs, and so on and so forth. You have school table tennis, and then you have competitive or elite table tennis. So it depends on the level at which you want to make the investment. If we look at elite table tennis, for example, people say, oh, there are some sports that are lesser sports and all that, but I will challenge anyone in terms of corporate sector support in Nigeria for sports. I think table tennis will rank among maybe the first 5 in this country, because the people that are in charge have realized that they need to take the game to the corporate sector. For example, the WTT contender event that is coming up. A lot of people forget that it started as a Lagos International Classic in 2013. So we've been on this thing for about 10 years or 11 years now. We only had a 1-year break during the COVID period. And it has evolved from being a Lagos State funded event to a corporate sector, fully backed corporate sector event. prize money is $80,000. It's not government that is bringing it, it's from the private sector. That's just prize money alone. On hotels, we spend 70, 80 million naira a year on the hotel bills and all that. It's also coming in from the players from the various countries and all that. So we are moving in table tennis away from full dependence on government. And that's why we're getting the results that we're getting in table tennis. For the WTT contender, for example, I think we have over 20 corporate sponsors for this event. And these are corporate sponsors that have started with us in the last 10 to 11 years that we've had the tournament, and who have seen that the value that they get has increased and improved. And every year they keep on coming back. And every year we keep on adding 2 or 3 new sponsors that are coming into the game. So it's about packaging and it's about presentation.
All right.
Yeah, Mr. Tando, good to have you on the show. And good job with what we're seeing with table tennis, not just in Nigeria, but in Africa. Let's talk about the WTT Contender Series. What should we be expecting from Africa, particularly in terms of organization and competing?
Yeah, in terms of organization, Austin, good evening. It's nice to see you. You've been away for so long. We're waiting for you in Lagos. in terms of organization, I think we already have a working template when it comes to the organization of the game. So the WTT itself is pleased with what we have been able to put together in terms of the organization of the game, the medical aspect, transportation, accommodation, security, welfare, the venues and the facilities. A lot of people always fail to recognize that the venue is the same Teslim Balogun Indoor Sports Hall because of the way it looks during the event. So in that regard, we really don't have any issues with the organization. It's something we're used to doing now, and it's something that just runs like clockwork. For the African participation, this year we are having quite a number of African players coming in. For the men, for example, Aaron Okwodi will be the highest ranked African that is taking part in the tournament this year. We have Mehdi from Algeria. One thing we need to realize that it's taking place 3 weeks to the Olympics. And so because of that, you are not going to see the numbers in terms of the players, but the quality of the players is definitely higher, because for many of them, it's part of their training program towards the Olympics. So they're taking it very, very seriously. And that's why for the first time we're having the world number 6, Hugo Calderano of Brazil, coming in for the games. We have the world number 14, Dmitry Oskarov of Germany. We have Aaron Okwodi, number 17. And we have a few others in the top 20, top 25 in the men. In the women also, we have the world number 7, the defending champion, Shin Yubin of Korea, South Korea, also coming in. And of course, we have the African participants in the female, Dina Meshref, Ofong Edem, Fatima Bello, and quite a few others also from Algeria and all that. But we have a top quality team coming in this year. And I think thanks to the Olympics, we're going to see the highest quality of table tennis the world can offer at this time, here in Lagos, starting on the 19th of June.
Awesome, awesome. Let's narrow it down to Nigeria now in terms of competing. And vital lessons. What are the vital lessons we can get from organizing this sort of competition that can aid the development of table tennis in Nigeria and also equip our players to do better internationally?
Yes, you're very right, Austin. And this year we're having the highest number of Nigerian entrants taking part in the tournament because one of the things we've realized in the 11 years that we've been running this from the Lagos International Table Tennis Classic up to this level is that it has afforded Nigerian players the opportunity to play against the best. And we're seeing the results of this in that when they now go out, because they have played many of these players in Lagos. That fear factor is out. Number two, many of them have also now been able to get on the ranking table of the ITTF. There are so many Nigerians now on the ITTF ranking table because they're able to get some points here at the WTT contender. So we have the highest number of Nigerians taking part this year because opportunity has been given to many more of them to come in and take part in the event.
All right, I guess it's a good place to let it land on the show, and all the best with the upcoming WTT series, and hopefully we'll get to have this conversation another time.
Thank you very much, Yemi, and I hope you'll be with us at Teslim Balogun.
Surely, we'll do our best to be there. All right, let's quickly switch now and talk about the Prosperity Cup. We'll do our best to keep up with what is happening on the domestic scene. And Prosperity Cup has gotten into the round of 32. Let's allow you to enjoy some reactions, some highlights, and of course some talking points from the Prosperity Cup.
Swedish young man, an intelligent player.
Now we've had some 3-4 weeks of exciting football since the kickoff. We've had preliminary matches in Brass. We took it first to the farthest part of the state, Brass, through Nembe. We've gone through Ekaremo, Southern Ijaw, Kolokoma Pukuma. Now we are playing in Yenagwa. We are playing in Ogbe. We are rounding up in Sagbama as well. So this has been a progression, and we've had exciting football matches all over. We've had a couple of hat-tricks, and we've had a number of exciting goals as well. I think we've had the least cases of missed walkovers and missed matches due to the planning and organization. We've gotten to a stage now where we're now preparing for the local government finals. Starting from next week, Thursday, Ekaremo will be hosting the first local government final in this edition of Prosperity Cup. It was designed and approved by His Excellency, the Governor of Bayelsa State, Senator Doidiri, and the Deputy Governor, to see that the competition gets real exciting at the grassroots. After the preliminary matches and the two champions or the two qualifiers have been selected, we are going to have a local government final. It will be hosted by the chairman of the local government area, and the special guest of honor shall be the deputy governor. And at that day, we shall have exciting football from the two best teams in the local government. The whole idea is we've had a team of scouts walking around all the matches of the local government, and we selected quite a number of exciting players. Now we want the finals to identify the best, select the local government's 11 or 22 players, and prepare them for the international scouting program that is coming up in June. That is the essence. So after the local government finals, the team that has been selected team of players that have been identified will put into a camp in their locality, and they will prepare and train and play and plan for the international scouting program coming up at the end of June, right here at the Samson Celsius Stadium. So this is an innovation. We want to make sure that the best of the best in our local communities are identified first at the community levels, at the local government areas, and selected to form a team. What it means is that we are going to have first a team of 8 selected players. 8 selected teams from each local government to form the core of the teams that our international scouts from Europe and America are coming to see in June.
All right, welcome back. We've made a switch. Quickly time though, of course, Chief Operating Officer of the African Table Tennis Federation is taking his leave. We'll be talking a lot about table tennis and the upcoming WTT Contender Series. Bolu Omoni joins us now. And Bolu, we saw pictures from the Prosperity Cup, and we're listening to the DG. And there's always been talks about developing football at the grassroots. I like the consistency, and I hope when this administration leaves, whenever they're leaving, that competitions like this just don't fade off.
I think Bayelsa as a whole, they deserve credit. Since Daniel Igali took over as the sports commissioner, they've been doing so many things. I remember they did one at some point that they brought in scouts from different countries. I remember the one from Mamelodi Sundowns that we were like, so Sundowns have scouts for the club and all. So they've been consistent in doing different sports events. And this Prosperity Cup is one of the things we say all the time. Every sport administrator will tell you, we're going to work on grassroots, but it's always audio. But this one, they put up the fact that they won't put out laid down plans. And based on what we see they are working towards, I think it's a good up for them. Hopefully, like you said, this continues. Doesn't come, it's our administration thing. The last guys there, I don't care about. Hopefully, over time, even when Daniel Igali leaves the position, whenever he leaves, this still continues because it means it's pushing Bayelsa as a state into the world map that, these guys are doing something well in terms of grassroots sports. And at the same time, it's putting Nigeria in good vein that, when you talk about grassroots sports, this is one of the best things we see. So hopefully, everything continues for good. Not just for fancy clouds and numbers.
All right. Yeah. So let's move on the show now, and I think it's time to address the elephant in the room. I know Austin would love to say something about the Prosperity Cup, but let's address the elephant in the room because we have limited time. Well, the Nigeria Football Federation addressed the issue, but left us with a lot of questions. And those are the things we'll try to understand. A meeting was held today. The sports minister was present. Coach Finidi George was there. The officials, the NFF executive were also there. And a communique was released. And there are different interpretations to what has been released. Fine, what we all agree on the part that we're going to have a technical advisor. In that communique, if I'm wrong, please correct me, George Finidi's name was not mentioned anywhere. So the question is, what is his role now? A lot of people have, and you can't say who is wrong or who is right. Some people have said, oh yeah, he's going to step down. So what does step down mean? Some have said, okay, he's no more in the picture. What does no more in the picture mean? But I think what also they said that I like is that, look, we're going to look for new ways to scout players. Invitation now, we're going to look at it. We're going to bring some people into the technical development. Those ones, I agree. But the part about bringing a new technical advisor, is this coming with his own crew? What happens to the guys you hired as Finidi's assistants? I mean, there are things that need to be cleared up.
We've heard all these stories before. It still comes back to the same thing. I have a friend that tells me FIFA should just ban Nigeria so we can start from the scratch. The truth is, these current NFF squad, they've been quiet at some point, moving steadily, but it seems the quiet or the silence is probably better than them making wrong decisions. Let's go to the beginning. First of all, people that said Finidi doesn't know anything, that he doesn't have a degree, think again. He's the defending champions of the Nigeria Premier Football League. That's a win on its own. And based on his playing years, he's got understanding of, at a point, he was the best in his position. Let's come back to when he took the job. We were clamoring for a local team and everything. Then, we got the local coach interesting. Like I said, I wanted someone else, but we got Finidi with support. Then the man we got the local coach said he wanted foreign assistants. That was the first but in it. Then he went on a media route at some stations and he said boldly that he doesn't care about formation. That it's not about formation,
it's about results.
And I said to myself, this is one of the wrongest statements I've heard.
Recipe for disaster.
Then the coach of the under-17 made it worse. Formations are jargons. And those in charge of our football are waiting patiently and looking. We said, okay, Michael Linton released the statement that no, I didn't take the job because I didn't like the conditions they gave me. I would never take a contract or pay per invitation and everything. Everyone kept quiet. The only person spoke in anonymity, as usual. We are used to hearing things like it. Then fast forward to the camp opened on Saturday. I've been saying this for a long time. I hate it when you open camp and nothing happens. Players stroll in whenever they want. Only 12 players were around for Sunday training. Later in the evening, 3 more joined them. Then the strike happened on Monday. We heard 8 players were stranded in Lagos. They were given an excuse because of the strike. I said no. Camp opened on Saturday. NFF kept quiet. Nothing was said. The first assistant coach was not there, and nothing was said. Later, we heard rumors that he didn't agree to the condition they gave him. NFF still kept quiet. Then we played the game. Finidi George, the coach of national team, kept ranting at everybody. You don't tell me what to do. Let the coach do their job. You are setting yourself up for disaster. Then the second game happened. A loss. Super Eagles in a group with Lesotho, Zimbabwe, Rwanda, Benin Republic, and South Africa. 3 points. in 4 games. Now we bought calculators, not just calculators, scientific calculators.
And prayers.
Pressing the signs, the cosines,
Calculators and prayers.
Then NFF had the meet. So me, if I was the minister of sport, I would have just kept quiet and look at them. Just keep feeling how you want to feel.
I wouldn't have done anything.
Then we come back later. But the question is, they left us with more questions than answers in the communique. Here, we know a technical advisor is the coach in charge. But now, do we have like some people have managers like Ghana had?
Yeah.
Are we having a technical advisor separate from the coach? Are you sacking Finidi? Let's know.
You can't have a technical advisor who doubles as the head coach
and say have another coach.
I don't think it's possible.
Who will have his own assistant?
So is Finidi demoted to assistant coach? What of his own assistants? What happens to them?
He doesn't even have first assistant anymore because based on reports, Daniel Amoka said he wasn't going to take that contract. Based on what we know, because NFF are still not clarifying that one.
Let's listen to Austin, who probably has his ears to the ground, who may be more calm than the rest of us. And I don't know, maybe it will help us get some clarity because there are more questions than answers.
I know, Yemi, but guys, don't forget we're dealing with the Nigeria Football Federation. You know, can the sport on the leopard, you know, be gone? No, it's same old same. And yes, we've had a situation where we had a technical advisor. I remember when we had Salisu Yusuf, he was chief coach, and we're asking the question to that, what is really his role? So don't be shocked if you start hearing all of those names again flying around with Coach Finidi George. I read the communique, and I think that they were hasty. Well, they're panicking. Don't make decisions when you're mad, when you are angry, when you are confused, when you're disappointed. You need to sit down and analyze it again properly. So Finidi George was a stopgap. We know the NFF. It takes the minimum of 6 months to always replace a coach. That they are very fast in 6 months. So the AFCON finished in February. If you had to give the NFF 6 months, we would have gotten a technical advisor in August. This is June. So Finidi George was, okay, let's give him, see what he can do. But we forgot that we were on a shaky foundation for the World Cup qualifiers. I keep saying that Nigerian football went through a faulty brain operation because the football brain was completely damaged right from the AFCON in Cameroon and then our failure to qualify for the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. And they said, let's do the operation. And we didn't do it so well. We brought Pizarro. He was struggling with the normal games, and then we were going to tournament mode. He did well. And so we said, everything is well. Everything wasn't well. That was a competition. Go back to the problems that you left unsolved, particularly having in mind that, right after the AFCON, the big one is coming for the World Cup qualifiers that we didn't start so well. With 2 games played, we managed only 2 points. And I'm guilty. We're all guilty. Finidi George was in the setup. So we say, it's better to give it to Finidi George, who knows the situation, and it will be cost effective for the NFF. And the guy is already on ground and can just get it rolling. If it's qualification, you cannot question Finidi George. He's got a UEFA A license. You cannot put say a lot of things about Finidi George. I've watched him closely. I've talked with him. One good challenge I gave him one time, I said, stop complaining about the league, go back home and do something. He did. When he was living in Spain, I spoke with him, said he's taking the job with Eimba. Got there, won the league with Eimba. That's passion. That's someone who wants to be the change. So I love him so much for that. But a problem is still a problem. This communique now, what it has done again is another mental damage. Because now Finidi George has got a team. They're trying to put themselves together again and see how they can pick themselves back up. We have this communique now. It's going to do more damage. I will agree with what you guys have said. Come on, say Finidi George, we're disappointed with how you've started, with how you got on the job, blah, 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 blah. We don't want you anymore. We're looking for a technical advisor. From now till we get a technical advisor, you'll be in charge. But once a technical advisor comes in place, you're gone, or you go back to your role as assistant.
Exactly.
Of the Super Eagles. Clarity. So that people will understand their mission, and then there will be unity of purpose. I read the communique and I said, 10 steps backward.
It's really sad. I thought you were going to make us listen to the NFF president. So I guess we just listen to him. His immediate reaction after that meeting. We'll come back to talk some more. There's still a lot of questions. But of course, we have to calm down, get this show on the road. Let's listen to the NFF president. We'll come back for more sports tonight.
It's a very sad moment for Nigerian football. We can't run away from that. But all I want to assure you that is that we are working tirelessly in conjunction with the minister to see that we come out with some holistic measures that will change the face of the entire system so that we can move forward. Don't forget, it's still possible and we are going to make it. And I just want to assure you that we are going to fight it to the letter and Nigeria will qualify to the World Cup. This is not something that I would just say it now, but very soon you are going to see the measures that NFF will come out with, and by the grace of God, those measures that we are going to take will lead us to qualify to the next World Cup. And don't also forget, before the next round of the qualifiers, we have the AFCON qualifiers, which almost all the 6 matches will be played before March next year. And that, by the grace of God, that will show Nigerians the kind of steps we are going to take, or we take to make sure that we qualify for the World Cup. And I just finally want to assure Nigerians that they should continue to pray for us. But by the grace of God, I want to assure them we are going to fight to the letter and we are going to qualify for the World Cup in 2026. We are looking holistically on the general affairs of the team. And as I've said, very soon Nigerians will see the measures we are going to take. And whatever is going to happen, we are going to look outside the box to make sure that everywhere we can see or find any player that is fit to play for Nigeria, we'll try as much as possible to get in touch with them so that at least we can have a pool of players that will play for this country to help us to qualify for the next World Cup. And not forget, as I've said earlier, the qualifiers for AFCON is there, and by the grace of God, Nigerians will see a holistic change as far as the Super Eagles team is concerned entirely. The situation is, mind you, Finidi has a contract, so we still have to respect that contract, and whatever we need to do in order to ensure that we achieve what we want to achieve, we are going to do it, and Nigerians will hear about it then.
All right, NFF President. Speaking there, I like his confidence. I don't know where he gets it from, that we're still going to qualify for the World Cup. He says it and they're going to take steps. And you were nodding your head because even from his speech, the direction they're going, Finidi has a contract, we have to respect the contract, whatever we want to do. Probably the only thing that is saving Finidi from the sack is probably that contract. But you see, the question for me is, in the mind of the average fan, do they think Finidi George has the acumen to handle the team? That's one. Two, you cannot blame on Finidi George, the players. It was obvious. You lose a game of that magnitude, I can still see players shaking hands. Some of those players are still around in the country for whatever reasons. They're doing one workshop or whatever it is that they're doing some charity work here and there. You have that. Then the people I consider to be the villains have escaped under the radar, and that's the NFF. You put us where we are, and it's not about the coach. It's about, just like Austin said, it's about the things that you didn't do right. And for a country that didn't qualify for the last World Cup, we shouldn't be having this kind of conversation. And all the things they say they want to do, it still boils down to the fact that you cannot be a federation who is only interested in prosecuting national teams. And once you are not doing that, you are not doing anything else. It's a big problem.
Well, it's not even national teams, it's Super Eagles. Anything outside Super Eagles is almost dead on arrival. The truth is, the NFF, like Riley said, all the attention went up there, and it feels like they set off Finidi George for failure. They set him up for Nigerians not to like him. Because now, many Nigerians are back to, oh, you want a local coach, look at your useless in code local coach. Then an expatriate to now be brought in. If you wanted an expatriate from the beginning, then get him, don't bother going for Finidi George. If that's what you want, you are looking at someone that would invest more in Nigerian football. Believe me, an expatriate will not invest more in Nigerian sport. I'm talking about the players. I said to myself, the 4 teams in the relegation zone in the APF, talking about the Gombe United, Doma United, Sporting Lagos and Bayelsa. If you pick players from those 4 teams, they should have 12 points in the group we have. And it's sad that we are here. We are talking about all those guys who play each other, they will draw points and all. But the question is, will the Super Eagles of Nigeria wake up to win them? If they win all 6 games remaining, hopefully, if others begin to draw points here and there, they may still qualify. But for now, our fate is not in our hands, sadly. But if the NFF continue like this, people will tell you about the World Cup next game is still far, March 2025. But what happens to the AFCON qualifiers? What happens to the remaining FIFA windows? What will the plans be by then?
We'll see. I want to go to the IPFL, but I think it's only fair to allow us to say one thing. I'm going to go across in a bit, but I'm very sure you want to drop something on this issue before we let it go.
Yeah, I mean, as I said earlier, it's same old same for me. Nothing is new. I just hope that they have actual steps to take to get Nigeria football out of the state where it is. It's rather unfortunate, but I find it very difficult to blame Finidi George because it's not just all on the coach. There's administration, there are players involved. There's the media also, what's out there. How is the media handling this situation? How is the media talking about it? What sort of information are we putting out there? So I just hope that we get it right. Whatever they're doing, they should be sure that whoever they're bringing in as technical advisor understands the mission, comes with clarity, and work towards getting Nigeria to qualify for the World Cup in 2026. I am still confident, not so confident, but I've not lost hope or faith or belief that Nigeria can still do it with 6 matches remaining, particularly that we'll still have Benin Republic and South Africa to play. So let's find a way to bring in someone who just come to manage football. I keep saying it. I keep telling everyone the biggest problem with coaching, not just in Africa, in West Africa, is you are not just managing players. You also need to manage administrators. So whoever NFL is bringing, look at what Samuel Eto'o is going through in Cote d'Ivoire. Look at what happened to even Ghana. So if you don't understand the workings of the FA and either put your feet on the ground to tell people you gave me this job, so back off, you always struggle.
All right. Austin should know that this show is recorded. He says you're confident. All right. We'll see. All right, let me go across and take a look at March Day 36 results. And of course, a lot of things in the news, especially the game between Shooting Stars and Rangers. I wish we had time to really talk about it extensively. But these are the results. March Day 36, where we have teams that have been confirmed to have been relegated, and we're looking at how it will end. Gombe United lost to Abia Warriors 3-1. Benel Insurance defeated Rivers United 2-1. Eimba, the Aba Elephants, played a 1-1 draw with Bayelsa United. Akwa United, the promise keepers, pulling away from that relegation zone. They're not safe yet. Of course, played a 3-1 draw with Katsina United. These are March Day 36 results. The ones played earlier, Remo Stars, of course, hammered Heartland forward. Niger Tornadoes defeated Lobby Stars 3-2. Kwara United defeated Caterpillars 2-0. Sporting Lagos lost to Plateau United. Not really looking good for Sporting Lagos as it said. And of course, 3SC defeating Rangers. Of course, a lot of people questioning why the Flying Antelopes didn't get a penalty in that game. But if you can, Bolu, wrap things up for us in a minute or two before we yield back to Austin. Week 36, do we have a clear indication of everything? Does it look like Rangers have their hands on the title? Would some other teams still be able to, have a say in who wins?
Well, March Day 36 was interesting. 29 goals in 9 matches, and Shooting Stars, people are not taking attention to those guys. They've played 9 games at home without conceding a single goal. That's over 800 minutes of games, keeping clean sheets at home. And I think the decision that was taken finally by the NPFL board between the Rangers game and Eimba probably gave advantage to Rangers because now they have one hand on it. But March Day 37 would be key. We saw 2 away goals in this one. Losing at Onikon Stadium for Sporting Lagos means they will almost likely go down.
All right.
Says something extraordinary happens. Another away win. Well, they're already down already. Talking about Gombe United, but lovely round of games we saw that.
Lovely round of games. All right, let's look at the top 4. Bolu alluded to it. You have Rangers International, the Flying Antelopes. After 36 matches, they have 64 points, a goal difference of +20. Remo Stars following behind, 62 points, a goal difference of 14. The Aba Elephants still close by. They are 60 points. +4. Shooting Stars flying under the radar. They're in the 4th position with 59 points. Let's look at the bottom 4. You don't want your team to be in this position. Of course, the bottom 2 is confirmed. It's done and done. Gombe United confirmed. Heartland, mathematically maybe. So you have Sporting Lagos, Doma United, Heartland, Gombe. If everything ends today, these 4 are going down. But we've seen stranger things happen. Maybe with the next 2 matches, they may be able to do something, maybe catch some of the teams ahead of them, like Aqua United. Also, let me yield to you quickly. You look at this bottom 4 and top 4. Let's start with this bottom 4. Which of these teams do you think can escape the drop?
Maybe Doma United. It's rather unfortunate that Sporting Lagos have found themselves in that situation, because I remember all of the talks they had for the second stanza and what they intend to do to gain points so they can stay in the league. But some boring results here and there have kept them in this, in this situation. I like Doma, and nobody should come for me. I like the way they came into the league and show that they can compete and show that they are not small boys. They are a team that you're beating them 3-1. They're still playing offensive football. It's also sad they're in this situation, but let's see what they can do. That said, let me say thank you to Aqua United, the promise keepers, for doing their bit, winning yesterday, and ensuring that it's not comfortable yet. Try not to lose again in the next 2 games. Maybe play a draw and win your last game, so that you give yourself some confidence towards the start of the next season.
All right.
But shout out to Shooting Stars. I told you, watch that team closely, and the resilience, the consistency that they've shown. Christian Piagara always steps up and does the magic for them when they need him to. They scored an early goal and kept it going till the end. That shows good character. So shout out to the Oluyole Warriors. If I'm back home, I'll scream, up Sutin.
Okay, all right. I'll do that on your behalf. All right, let's quickly go on and talk about the Euros now. We'll talk about the girls tomorrow, our girls playing qualifiers. But Euros, it starts tomorrow, Euro 2024, and the opening fixture is in Group A. Germany and Scotland is the opening fixture. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to listen to some of the managers we thought we were going to be able to. But Bolu, your party shot on the show. Germany, Scotland. A lot of people feel that Germany is still a team in transition. Still a lot of problem. Who is number 1? Is it Ter Stegen? Is it Manuel Neuer? A lot of their good players will retire after these Euros. And Scotland haven't really done so well. So, what do you think will nick this one?
Well, despite the transition, Germany still have good players, and they've never lost to Scotland. I don't think it's going to start in this game. I believe the Germans will pick up 3 points.
All right. I don't think the Germans, I hope I'm right, I don't think the Germans will pick up 3 points in this one. I don't know why I feel so. All right. So I'll just leave it there. Let me allow Austin to say something as we prepare to wrap things up. Germany, Scotland, Euro 2024 begins tomorrow. Do you fancy the Germans?
Yeah, I do. They've got a good team, and they've been together for quite some time. They are the hosts, and they're really looking forward to this one. They didn't like the way they lost to England, I think, in the semi-finals at the last edition in England. So they might just want to prove a point this time around. But Scotland, they've been talking tough. The fans have traveled a lot in their numbers to Germany. They are believing that football can just, get them talking. I remember when we did the preview, I didn't talk about them making it out of that group. But I'd like to see them start this Euros with something for us to talk about. It's going to be tough. I join Bolu to say the Germans will come out smoking. They will get the job done. A proper start to the competition will actually say how far they will go in the tournament. That's the show. In London, I'm Austin Okonakpan. In everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.
All right, it's going to be a special edition of Euro 2024. The fans will get an explanation about VAR decisions. It's going to be very interesting for Euro 2024 when we begin to watch controversial decisions. We will get explanation for them. All right, before I go, I want to thank Bolu Omoni for his time on the show today. Hopefully we'll do this again some other time.
It's always a pleasure being around.
All right, that's the show today. We thank you for allowing us into your homes. We'll do this again tomorrow. I'm Emi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.